Hey everyone, we're going to be discussing the Nintendo Direct. So we're going to get into the games, kind of discuss what we felt, some of the feelings on some of the other stuff that was there that may be mediocre, and we'll go from there. So what stood out? What was one of the things that like really kind of pulled y'all in?
Well, okay, so I already pre-ordered Master Detective Archives Raincoat because the same people that made Danganronpa, and there's a special edition. I wanted to get that one, and the Baten Kaitos. I'm hoping there's a physical release, but if not, I'll still buy it because I want a third one, and I think that's what they're pushing for. And probably Decal Police was probably the other one, and Etrian Odyssey, because I have all the 3DS versions of it, just not the like. I want to play it on like a big screen. That would be nice.
Because those games deserve that. I mean, they kind of feel like Phantasy Star games a little bit. Mm-hmm. They're made by Sega. And I only say it because, you have the dungeon walking and you have to like map out your path and stuff with like a pen and paper kind of thing that's built into the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess Zelda, we knew that was...
Zelda? I mean, they only saved it to the end, right? I mean, that and Metroid getting some love, man. We finally getting the Prime remake. Shoot,
I
feel like there's been whispers about that forever now. Oh yeah, they're working on a Prime remaster. Oh, that'd be cool. Even just a Prime collection would be really nice. Because I think I've got a Wii U somewhere in this room that's collecting dust that has the Prime collection that came out on that. It was like, man, where's this game? So it was really cool to see them finally, it's not all three of them, but it's a start, right? So it was cool to see them actually announce that. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I know for me, the biggest thing that I was like, besides Prime, and I'm torn because they're like, oh yeah, you can get it digitally right now, or you can wait to the 22nd and be able to get a physical copy. And it's like, well, I'm going to buy both because I want to play it now. Then I want a physical copy. So you're getting me for both. Dang you, Nintendo.
And it looks good. It looks good from what I saw. So it definitely looks like they did good. And if they do it for everyone, I'll buy it. At least the second one. I mean, I'll definitely buy it every one. But a lot of this direct was remasters.
It was
a lot of it, but
remastered DLC, right?
Yeah. Well, the one thing that wasn't DLC that I've been looking forward to, and I'm finally happy that we're getting a release date on this, was Sea of Stars. This is the kind of spiritual sequel, or successor to Chrono Trigger, having the original composer come back to do some of that. Looks great. I can't wait to play this game. It's right up my alley.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool seeing that between that coming out and then all the love that came out for Chained Echoes, right? It's kind of cool seeing this resurgence of love for that style of game, right? With the whole turn-based, bit style RPG, right? It's been nice. And then I got two reminders of games that I swear I need to get around to one of these days, which was the Xenoblade 3 DLC. Reminded me I need to go beat Xenoblade the remaster and 3, but I guess I can just keep waiting on 3 until all the DLC's out. And then Octopath Traveler 2, right? I still haven't gotten around to the first one. I know it's good. I need to go play it. I just haven't gotten to it.
Adrian, anything stand out for you before we get into the meat of it?
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance game. So I was pretty excited about that.
That was good.
I yelled in the car on the way home when I heard the Game Boy Advance startup sound. I was like, oh shit! I was freaking out in the car because I was really looking forward to that. There's a lot of I have a lot of fond memories of Game Boy Advance games, and so especially the one they announced, the Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. I never got to finish that one, so I think that'll be the first one that I'm going to play. And of course, Metroid Prime, like you guys were saying, that game was great. I remember playing that one all the way through in like a week when it came out. and that one looks really good too. So both of those are the main ones. So I was like, okay, this was worth it.
What was cool is the fact that the Game Boy Advance games had like 4-player, depending on what you were doing, four different switches online. So that was really cool.
The part about the advance that I was curious about, because it's my brother and I have been wanting this game to get more love than what it does, and I was curious to see if it would be a part of the initial launch, or if they were even going to mention it. Was Golden Sun, right? So Adrian, if you were just listening to in the car, they actually did show it, right? It was like, oh hey, and here's a bunch of games coming out, and it was funny because the Game Boy one, the thing was static, and it just had the list of games right there. But then the Game Boy Advance one was like, hey, here's the games that are coming out. And it slowly started scooting over.
Yeah.
And right there on the end, it was like, oh, yeah, there's Golden Sun. I was like, oh, thank God. Y'all actually put it in there. Thank you, guys. If you could put Isaac in anything other than just being a little trophy and, or a little helper dude who pops in for Smash Brothers, if y'all could do a little bit more with that IP, that'd be nice. But I know Camelot's busy making, DLC for Mario Golf or some other sports Mario thing. But
well, it kind of sucks though, because that's the company that kind of did the whole Shining Force stuff, and that's in limbo.
Yeah, for whatever reason, their RPG stuff outside of those early games don't get any love, and they just make bank on the sports stuff. So that's what they focus on. Like technically, the last Golden Sun game, the Dark Dawn, it ended on a cliffhanger. And we're never going to get to see how that ends, because they're never going to roll back around to that series, which sucks. But well, we got 2 really great games that'll hopefully be coming out on the Switch here soon to go back and reminisce through.
I mean, at first, of course, it opens up with Pikmin 4, gives a release date for it. I mean, I've never really been a big fan of this series. I know we were talking about it before we started recording, but I know that I got my wife and my son into it, so it's one of those ones we'll just pick up and they'll play. Looks fun, but it's not something I probably won't have time to play myself. And then
Yeah, those Pikmin games always look cool, and I never really get into them after that first one. But they always look entertaining, but for whatever reason, they never hit with me either.
Same.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the Xenoblade Chronicles, we got the announcement for the Volume 3 update. New character, new outfits, and then there was, I guess, Volume 4 is going to have a story, and it looked like Shulk was in it. Some of the characters from the first Xenoblade game. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't played Xenoblade 3 yet. I don't know why. I just, I'm Xenoblade out. I bought the first one when it came out on the Wii, and I loved it. And then X was amazing. I lost 50 hours of save data, so that soured me a little bit. Second one, I liked, but it just, but now it's feeling like Tails. They just keep trying to push it, and yeah, they just need to slow down. It should have been like at least one game per system. In my opinion, yeah. And so I'll eventually play 3, but I know it's supposed to connect everything, but what about you guys? You play it?
I hadn't gotten to 3 yet. Technically, I haven't even beat 2. I'm like right at the end of 2, but every time I go fight the final boss, for some reason, it doesn't matter what I do, how I fight.
Yeah.
One of my party members will just walk off a cliff and die, and then I'm trying to fight the final boss with 2, and it doesn't work. And I can't figure it out. Like I will maneuver the boss all the way over right next, away from the stupid ledge that you're fighting them near, and it doesn't matter. This close to beating the boss, and I'll look up and be like, "Where the hell did my party members go?" And then realize, "Oh shit, they fell off the cliff again! Damn it!" So yeah, it's probably just me sucking at the game, but I haven't beat 2 yet. Like I said, I need to get through 1, and then I'll get around to 3 one of these days. Like I said, probably when all the waves of the DLC are done.
Yeah.
I honestly think X is my favorite. I used to say 1 was my favorite because the soundtrack is amazing, and but I'll say X is just different, and I thought it was really fun. But
I think I played 2. Was that the one? Was that the first one that was on the Switch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was 2. So I played that one, but this was around the time that um Vince and I were working on my flooded house. So I bought it. I bought a lot of games then, and I was like, well, I'm staying with my in-laws. I'm just gonna bring my Switch. I'm not gonna unpack the Xbox. I'm gonna play all these games. And I never ended up playing it. But oddly enough, I put about 40 hours into it, but I feel like wasn't even a quarter of the way through the game after 40 hours, and I was like, well, I don't think I'm gonna come back to this. I think something else came out um on the other consoles that kind of took my attention away from it, and then at that point, circling back around to something so dense it's really hard to get back into if you stop playing it for a while. So I didn't end up finishing it past that. And I think I had a similar issue where I got lost or something and I couldn't figure out how to get past. And it's like, well, I put 40 hours into it. Nowadays, if I put 40 hours into anything, I consider it complete and I move on.
Yeah.
I'll just go look up the guide online. What happened? No. Yeah, I've only played through 2 and a little bit of X, but it's one of those things. It's like this game is so massive, it should be an MMO,
Yeah.
And
I think it felt like one. It felt like one.
I think the problem with me with the series in general is that I'm a fan of the Xenogears, and it's just like every time they make new Xenoblade, it's like, man, I just want another Xenogears, even though I know it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But the next one was Sama de Amigo, the new game for that. Look fun. We haven't played that since what? The original. We got the yeah. Anything on that one, guys?
No, I'll probably pass.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't make a note of it on my little list of games, so I don't even remember it very well. So whatever it was, whatever it looked like, it didn't register with me enough for it to really make an impression.
I did have a question. So, like the guy that was dancing, was that the guy that's going to be in the game? Or was it like the person? Or does it show you play?
I don't know. I think that was the person you play because it's like,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those games. I mean, I love DDR, and I'll play that over something like this.
Yeah, same.
I'd try out a demo on that one if they had a demo. I'd like to try that out. And I don't know if taking the plunge and paying full price for it before then.
Yeah. Fashion Dancer, that just looked like the Animal Crossing home designer game.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
As soon as they said fashion, I was in.
Look, I'm a sucker for character customization. All right, as long as I can dress up my characters, I'm on board 100%.
You remind me of that. What was the game that had you'll know this one, the crossover between Fire Emblem and the Persona games?
Oh yeah, FE. Yeah,
that's what it looks
FE,
like.
Yeah,
Mirage Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Mirage.
Yeah. And I have that, and I haven't finished it yet. It's just sitting on my shelf.
See, I have the Wii U version, I think, and I think I might have bought the Switch version again. And I just, for some reason, I just keep pushing it on the back burner, and I'm not sure if I ever get to it. Yeah,
I probably won't ever. There's too much coming out, too much good stuff. And we got Yakuza coming out pretty soon. And
I'm 40 hours in Ghost of Tsushima right now, and I just did the DLC because it's like so open world, you can do whatever you want, and so it's like I'm on like the second island. But yeah, that's gonna take me a while, and then Yakuza is coming out, and I did buy that Hogwarts game, and I pre-ordered a bunch of other games that's coming out. So yeah, it's busy.
Yeah. The Dead Cells Castlevania DLC looks great.
Yeah. If I was any good at playing through any of those roguelike games, it just hurts my soul when it's like I get so far and I have all this awesome badass equipment, and then you die, and then you wake up and you've lost all of it. It's like I got to start over all the way at the beginning and do all that again. That's where like Hades, you at least had permanent upgrades and things that you could. I felt like, okay, I'm progressing. I'm like, better things are happening. I have stuff that will help me on this run just a little bit more. And stuff like Dead Cells, I just never get that feeling. I constantly feel like I'm back to square one, and then
Yeah.
I'll screw one thing, and like one of the first boss fights is like, oh, I really want to play this game and I want to beat it, but Jesus, it's just punishing.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, I believe, still, and I was playing it. But my buddy Jose, he's playing it so that way he can get ready for when this comes out, since he's a big Castlevania fan.
Yeah.
Anything on that, Adrian?
I'm with David. Yeah, it's like, I played a lot of what do you call it, Hades recently, and it doesn't feel good, man. It doesn't feel good to go back to the beginning. I put a lot of hours into that one too. It's fun, but like, yeah, when you die and you have to go back to the beginning, and I know there's little bits of story there and that kind of thing, but I want a little progress, so that if it's anything more if there's a harsher penalty than what's in Hades, I'm probably not going to try it out.
Yeah. Next one was the new Tron game, Tron Identity. That actually looked pretty cool.
I was a little confused. Is it just like one of those interactive novel games? Like,
that's what it looks like.
Okay. It's kind of an odd choice to go for with a Tron game, but I feel like I need to see a little bit more. Visually, it's Tron, right? So visually, it looks really cool. I kind of need to see a little bit more out of it, because I have a hard time committing myself to just staring at people's portraits talking at me for hours, right?
Unless it's a Mass Effect or the Star Wars KOTOR games,
Well, I mean, that at least there was combat in between that kind of.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they kind of move around and jiggle while they're talking and stuff. They're not just solid portraits in Mass Effect. They're twitching, and they'll do that same robotic turn when they get done with you. They just and then walk off. In Mass Effect, I love that. That's my favorite part of it. Everybody does. They just get up and the same twist. It's nice.
It's funny though. It's like when they freeze and then they're just talking to you and they're doing little animation, and like everybody's just walking around behind them and stuff. Like
yeah.
The best, I think, was I think it's Mass Effect. I think it only happened in Mass Effect 3, but if you wore the recon hood, right, that helmet for Shepard that completely blocked out your face, there was a glitch where in certain conversations the hood would go away, because there were certain moments where Shepard was supposed to show his face, but the game still thought that the mask was on, and so it removed your eyelids, and so just Shepard like this, talking the whole time, which is wide eyes. Right? It was hilarious.
I miss Mass Effect.
Yeah, I do too. Let me see. We had the Ghost Tricks Phantom Detective by Capcom. It's a remake. I've never played that, so.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It looked interesting, but I'm not. I don't know. I didn't understand the gameplay on that. Honestly,
honestly, when I saw the redheaded chick with her like that jacket, I thought it was like, what was it? The Cartoon Network show about the imaginary friends.
Yeah, that one was good. I forgot about that show. Yeah,
I was like, oh wow, we're getting a game for that. No, this is some Ghost Detective.
That would have been an amazing turn if it turned out that it's like, yeah, we're going to do a really dark, gritty, like noir Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Turns out Baby Paco is a serial killer. What?
Of course, now the next one was the Deca Police.
Was it Deca or Decal?
Decal, or I don't know if it was an L there or not.
This is
Deca Police.
Okay, Deca Police. Yeah, that one is probably going to be my favorite. One of them. I'm really hyped for that one.
Yeah, my first thoughts were it looked like an Atlas game, but of course it was a different company. Level 5. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't notice that.
The main character looks like Edward Elric, like his son or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about this game. I didn't know anything about it. It just kind of came up. At first, I wasn't too sure, but man, as that trailer went along, it won me over just between, like what y'all are talking about, right? With the art style, it seemed like the gameplay might be sort of interesting.
Mhm.
It wasn't that long ago. I was beating my head against a wall to get all the Digimon and Cyber Sleuths, right? So seeing it have a sort of similar vibe, right? Definitely it's on my radar now because God knows that's what I need. But
Yeah,
yeah,
more games to take you away from the games that you want to finish.
dude, February is brutal. Like just when I was looking at the list of stuff coming out, I was like, Prime's coming out, the Tales remasters coming out. It was like I haven't gone and got the stupid I don't give a shit about Harry Potter, but the family loves Potter, and between my daughter and my wife and even my son was like, yeah, I was kind of interested in it. I'm like, so now I'm gonna have to go buy the stupid Harry Potter game, and now it's like, and I still haven't played Dead Space. It's just like, guys, I need the world to pause for like 2 months and let me just catch up, please.
Type time chamber. Get
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, one day and 1 year and 1 day. Let's go. Like,
That's right. That's what I mean.
It's like
Come
just
out. Man.
stick my house inside that chamber for just like a day. I can fix up stuff, do things I want to do, come back, a little bit more grayer. So what do you have anything you want to add to it, Di, about that game?
No, I think it's going to be, like I said, it reminded me of like Akiba's Trip and Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I hope they might add some, maybe like, a lot of people don't like the social links in Persona, but I do. I think it's going to be really fun. I like the style. I like the character designs. So, and I think it's going to be really cool. So.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
There's people that don't like the social links in Persona games. Then
I don't know.
Megami.
Yeah, but that's how you get the better summons, right? You do the whole social thing. You breed them together, or sacrifice them to resurrect another creature.
I mean, for me, it's the very first Persona game I ever played was 3. And in Persona 3, you get to make friends with a cigar smoking monk in a bar. I was like, this is great. I don't understand why this weird monk, like cigar smoking monk in this bar is bothering to talk to this high school student, but I'm just gonna keep coming back and talking to this dude, and we're gonna see where this goes. I have no idea if it's helping any of the little spirits that I'm using, but I don't care. This guy's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's not part of the direct, but when is the remake for that coming out?
It's already out.
Oh, is it?
3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Persona Portable. Yeah.
Yep. At least it's out digitally, because I know that it's.
Yeah.
keep
Alice is bad
Switch
about
and
that
I'm like,
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one was the Bayonetta Origins. I have no interest in this whatsoever.
Yeah, it looks. I think they just used the name Bayonetta, and because they wanted it to sell, but it probably wasn't originally Bayonetta.
Probably not. It does look like it's maybe a Metroidvania game where like you get powers and can go out of the place, come back to places you couldn't get to last time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll let Adrian speak his piece if he thinks he's going to play it or not.
daughter kind of spoke up about it and was like, "Oh," because she heard that the little demon's name is Cheshire, right? And it looks kind of like a cat. And so she's like, "Ooh, Daddy, what's this?" I was like, "It's supposed to be a Bayonetta game. Why?" Like, it looks cool. I was like, "All right, we'll see." We'll probably forget about it, but
yeah. So we're talking about Bayonetta, the Origins game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna try that one.
what'd you since you were off doing daddy duty, what about that Deca or Decal? We're still
It's Deca. It's Deca. I looked it up.
That
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna try that one. I don't think I'm gonna try that one. Nah. I mean, it looks interesting, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, in the sea of everything that's coming out, this is one of the ones that I just will not play. So I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we got the new updates for Splatoon 3,
Yeah.
Inkopolis, and then they're doing the side order, which looks like a new story. I mean, it looked kind of cool. Almost looked like Silent Hill in Splatoon world.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I
But
haven't
that
played any of the Splatoons, so yet
Mm.
again, this is one that I'm kind of I mean, it looks neat, but I don't know that I'm gonna get around to it.
Mhm.
It's like the same as I bought Splatoon 2, I think day one, because I think that was early on in the Switch, at least the first few months. And me and a few friends played it, but after that, we never played it again. And I was gonna pick up 3, but I just never did. So
Yeah, we picked up 3 because my son he got it for his birthday, I think,
Mhm.
and he played it for a little while, and then he got stuck on Roblox, and it's like,
The Roblox curse, man.
I'm gonna take out all tablets and phones out of my house and just like, you only got consoles, buddy. Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Let me see. So this one was surprising. Was the Disney Illusion Island? It's
Mhm.
voice acted. The animation looks like it's from the new DuckTales series. Kind
Yeah.
of gave me that vibe. Looks really fun, 4-player, but I was surprised it's only local co-op. That's
yeah,
I
that's
don't
Is
know.
it? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because they go, yeah, you can play 4-player local co-op, and they didn't say anything about online. It's like, well, this looks like a cool game to play online with my friend. Nope, never mind.
Why is it taking so long to? It's in like June when it comes out. Why does it take so long to get
I don't
released?
know. I was kind of surprised. Oh, July 28th is what it was.
Oh, that's even further. So
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That one looks good. And something I'll probably pick up and probably play with my son or my wife. But it just
Yeah.
sucks that it's not online. Next was the Fire Emblem Engaged, new characters in the expansion pass, and then was it Wave 4 new story? Then you could pick up Wave 2 today. So I still
You
need to pick
guys-
up the game.
I need to pick up the game too, just so I can have some quality time with my boy Ike. He's finally shown back up after all that time. I kept waiting for them to put him in Heroes, or not Heroes. Warriors, right? Fire Emblem Warrior, the Dynasty Warriors clone they did of that.
Mhm.
He never showed up in that. I'm like, how can you do Ike wrong like this? Like, man, he's the best. He's the best character in Smash. Gotta get Ike in more stuff. So I need to go support my boy. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to that one yet either.
yeah. I've been playing Triangle Strategy at the moment, so I'm definitely going to finish that, and then I'll circle back around to Fire Emblem.
That's another game I need to finish. It's really good, but I just had other stuff come out I want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, last year really was a big JRPG year.
Mhm.
I'm behind on Fire Emblem, guys. Like they pumped them out like crazy on the 3DS, especially at the end. And
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, and so I'm like way behind, and and they keep making more stuff for it, and it'll be a long time before I get there.
Those 3DS ones were really good. Those are really
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like they're very short games either. I mean,
Oh,
you're sinking some hours into those things because you can't. I mean, I guess if you're one of those really great players at them, you can speed run through them. But I mean, there's so many times where you do one wrong move and leave one person just a little too far out, and they're dead. It's like that's it. You got to move on. So
Well, in a world where there's no tactical RPGs, Fire Emblem's all you got. No tactics, no Shining Force, no Vandal Hearts, no
I prefer it. I prefer to get one every 6 months, so I can take my time. Just give us one every 6 months. That works for me.
yeah. Let's see. Next one was Harmony of the Fallen Reverie.
It looked cool till it was a visual novel.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the idea, the concept was cool. Then it's like, it's a visual novel. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. And then Octopath Traveler, of course, the big thing about that was the demos today. So, of course, none of us have downloaded it from today. And then, of course, the game launches on February 14th or 24th. Sorry, 24th. So, I have that pre-ordered for the PS5, not for the Switch. Because
Those games look so much better when they're running at 60 frames and in 4K. Because I played quite a bit of the first one. I bought it on the Switch, and then I played it when it came out on Game Pass on the Xbox. And they look really good, man. They look really good when they're running at that high resolution and high frame rate.
Mhm.
Even Triangle Strategy, I have that on the PC, and it looks and plays really really good.
Okay. Yeah, on that I'm behind again because I played the first one way back, 2017 or 18 when it came out. And I just never beat it. And so yeah, I need to go back and beat it. So, or finish it.
It was really good. And they did Triangle Strategies, of course, and then Live Alive. So, and then, of course, we got Bravely Default 2, which I still haven't even played yet. I have it on my shelf.
Yeah.
And I love the first two, Bravely Default and then Bravely Second.
What's the tactical RPG that they just redid? Tactics Ogre.
Tactics Ogre. I have that too. Still haven't played it yet.
See, man, you're sitting there saying how there's no tactical RPGs out there, and look, you're there. They're all over the place.
Hey, and to my defense, that just recently came out. So, but then again, of course, that was a couple.
Like, you don't even count the Disgaea games. I mean, what's going on, man?
Okay, I tried to get into Disgaea. There's just too much going on in that game, especially when you play 5. It's like I did everything on that thing, and I couldn't move forward with the game. I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
Those games, like whenever I first tried playing those games, it was for number 3, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And then a buddy of mine told me, he's like, "Well, have you done the weapon dives yet?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, it should have been part of the tutorial." I was like, "Oh yeah, I think I might have skipped through that." He goes, "Yeah, if you go and you take your weapons to this person, you dive into them and you go through this whole dungeon and you can upgrade, and that's how you upgrade your weapons." It's like, no shit. And I went over and started doing it. I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna finish this game. I'm never gonna get through half of this game. This is ridiculous. There's so much crap in it. But I think they just announced number 7. So you want to talk about a game series that's just cranking them out like mad, right? I mean, there's like 5 came out, and then about a year or two later, 6 came out. Now about a year or two later, 7's coming out. Is like, damn, guys, pump the brakes a little bit, just a little bit, please.
Just a bit. Man, yeah. So one of the ones that I did get to show my wife the trailer for, they were supposed to be going in the living room to watch the actual full-on direct because they didn't get a chance to do it. But when they got home, was We Love Katamari. Can't go wrong with Katamari Damacy, rolling up the world, making stars. Let's go for it. Crazy, wacky times.
Man, I never touched those games. I remembered seeing stuff for them. I remembered seeing gameplay of them, and I was like, it never made sense to me. I'm like, so you're basically a dung beetle, is what you're telling me. You're just playing a dung beetle, but it's instead of rolling up dung, you're rolling up everything. Like, yeah, it's great. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna finish this other game. Y'all go have fun doing that. I got other games I need to go play and beat. But
hey, she was the one who got me into it, so they're fun. They're good little time wasters.
And more power to you, man. But I ain't got time to waste in terms of stuff I need to get to.
You guys got anything to say about them at all?
I'm on the same page as David.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next was Sea of Stars, of course, the game that was my number 1 pick of this Nintendo Direct. What can I say? It's a game that just is kind of fill the void of what Square needs to do for another Chrono Trigger game. The music's great. It just pulls you right in. The visuals.
I'm excited for it. I definitely, we need some more of those like good classic RPG type.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So I'm actually excited for it.
I mean, there's been stuff going on around about it for a while, because wasn't it kickstarted or something? Is that?
I don't know
Is
if
that-
it was or not. I know that there was another developer that did a game that did their kind of rendition of what they think a Chrono Trigger sequel would be. And then this studio did this one.
Yeah, no, it was kickstarted.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been going on it's been going around for a while, and everybody's just kind of waiting for it to come out, man. But I mean, yeah, like what we talked about at the front. It's cool seeing a love of this style of game coming back around, right? Especially the art style, because like even though all the Octopath Traveler and all that, the cool lighting and everything they do in those games, it's at the same time really refreshing and cool to see them go back to the traditional style of art for some of these. It's just it's just that little bit of nostalgia hit, right? That you sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. We got into Omega Strikers, which kind of is just 3-on-3 air hockey.
Man, if I'm gonna play something like that, I'm just gonna get on Wave Riders, right? Or no. What shit?
Windjammers?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Windjammers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I want to play 2D air hockey, Windjammers is what I'll get on, and I'll be good with.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested until it said free to play.
Things last
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like when things are free to play, the quality goes down. Of course, this is the one that Dai was looking forward to, and I am too. The collection for Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah. I'm only excited if it's physical. If it's digital, I'm not sure if I would want to buy them. But if it's physical, I'll definitely buy it, because it's Atlas and they need to release like what they used to do on the 3DS. It's at least a CD or something,
Mm-hmm.
I know Atlas is really big on digital. They did that Persona 4 Ultimax. They did it with a bunch of stuff recently, just digital and barely any marketing toward it. And they wonder why, well, it doesn't sell. Yeah. So I'm hoping there's a physical release to it. I know it's Sega, but they did a lot of those Etrian collections on the 3DS, so they could do it for the Switch as well.
And then the two Persona combination games that they did that was in that same vein were great.
Definitely.
Now the elephant in the room, that besides the Metroid Prime that we've all been waiting for most of us anyway, is the Advance Wars 1 and 2 collection.
Yeah, man. Been waiting on that. It'll be cool to dive back into those. It's been forever. Actually, I don't even have any of the original Advance Wars on my 3DS. I just have the weird one where it was where it got really dark. I forget what the heck the name of it was.
Yeah, that was Dual Strike, I want to say.
I think so.
Maybe on the DS, the first DS one. That's where they went real emo in anime.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually the one that I have. So it'll be cool to go back to the neat little cartoony art style of the original one. I know that there was a game that came out, I think, called War Groove.
Yeah,
sort of
on the Switch. Yeah.
It sort of filled that niche, right? It had the visual look to it and all that of Advance Wars, but it'll be pretty sweet to go back to the originals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially considering it's going to be local and online co-op. But April 21st, I'm down. I already have had it pre-ordered for like a year and a half now or whatever since they announced it on my Amazon account.
I mean, it's between that and Metal Slug Tactics, right? I felt
like
that's kind of
that looks pretty good.
Man, where are these games? Come on, guys.
Games I'd love to spend a lot of time in, and instead of some of the things that have been coming out. Kirby Return to Deluxe, or I mean, damn it.
Return to Dreamland.
Yeah, Return to Dreamland. I thought I typed it in here, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm super happy for that. I mean, it's one of those things that Everett's going to be like, he'll jump on. He'll probably get it. No, we'll give it to him early. I was like, I could probably hold off until Easter, but no, he's going to go. No, where's my Kirby game?
Huh.
And then of course you had the Mega Lore story.
Well,
Yeah.
that was kind of cool for them to tack on, and it's an interesting, different version of gameplay for a Kirby game, right? Where you're like upgrading your character to give them new ability, like just slowly building up their abilities back and all that stuff. That's kind of a neat little gameplay.
And it
for,
was
Kirby.
4 players, and then the demo came out today. So of course, then they talked about Switch Online. First, it was the Game Boy. You know, Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Link's Awakening, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch, Alone in the Dark, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, and then Kirby's Dream Land. And of course, it talked about the different filters you can have on it, depending on the Game Boy.
Yeah, solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they're doing it, but why did it take 6 years for them to do it?
Well, here's my thing about this. I love them adding all these consoles to the Switch, right?
Yeah.
But
No,
how long it takes them to release any game on there or a pack of games on there is ridiculous.
they've been so laxed on the Switch UI since it came out. They promised so much stuff when it came out, and it's still not fully there. But
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah.
funny is I saw a headline. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, but people were talking about how the Xbox has officially beat the Switch to putting GameCube games on it because people have been downloading that Dolphin emulator for the GameCube and they're able to install it and run it through their Xbox. So they just install the GameCube emulator on their Xbox and they run the GameCube games through that. And so Xbox beat Nintendo to the punch. And I was like, that's kind of funny. Like, because man, it's gonna be like, it'll be the end of the Switch's lifetime is when they'll finally be like, oh hey everybody, here's your games. Like, oh thanks Nintendo, appreciate you.
You know why?
I feel like they think they can still remaster and resell GameCube games.
Correct.
Like they can't
Thank
get away
you.
with that for anything older than the GameCube. I don't feel like they think they can get away with that. But the GameCube and beyond, I feel like they still think they can just like what they did with Metroid Prime just now.
yeah,
I think they believe that's the model going forward for the GameCube games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what else? I thought there was like 4. No, because there's another one. When they started doing all the montages for the new games coming out, it was the Tales of Symphonia, another GameCube game. So it's like there's 3 GameCube games being remastered on the Switch instead of them just giving us the ones that were on the GameCube.
And
Well,
it's working. I'm
It's
going
working.
to buy it.
Yeah, I
Don't
am
buy it.
too. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about both of those, right? Like what I mentioned earlier, Prime is just the first one, and Tales of Symphonia, it's just the first one. Not that anyone really cares about the second one, but it's just the first one. But like I'm looking at a box over there for my PlayStation 3 version, which is the Tales of Symphonia remaster.
1 and 2. Yeah.
It has 1 and 2 in it. So where's the second one? I don't quite understand it, but it's Big Daddy Nintendo just trying to milk us of all of our money.
Well, and here's something too, is like when they showed the games that were coming out for the Game Boy Color after the fact, there was the Pokemon card game was one of the games. And it's like, well, where's red? Where's blue? Where's silver and gold? You know, where's yellow? And you know, this could be the perfect time for them to find a feature where you can transfer your games to transfer your Pokemon to the new games, you know.
I think they have that. You could still do they have that vault thing where you can literally, I forget how far back it goes, but it goes pretty far back, like to maybe yellow on the Game Boy.
I think
Somehow you could get those Pokemon all the way up to the current one if you go through all the extensive steps, but I think that's how it works.
Yeah, on the 3DS, you could get like all the old Pokemon games from Red and Blue all the way up to, I want to say, all the way up to Sapphire and Ruby, right? And yeah, they had the Pokebank on there. You could get into it. You could upload. You could get all your crap from those games, upload them into the Pokebank, and then yeah, there's a certain point where it stops. It's like somewhere right around Sun and Moon is when you start running into the wall of, yeah, you can't transfer everything up to this point anymore. Like that's kind of where it stops. There's a few caveats, but yeah, that's sort of where it's at.
So it's like, why haven't we got a Pokemon Stadium 3 or whatever, or 4 technically?
Well, it's because you have Pokken tournament.
Yeah, poking.
Yeah, or Coliseum. Bring Coliseum back. You know,
Yeah. Let's see.
Well,
So
I think those games, weren't they? They were specifically designed so that you could play Pokemon in 3D. And I guess once it was just 3D, they were like, well, we don't need to keep doing that. I guess maybe that was their thinking behind it, because I do remember being like blown away on N64. It's like, oh, Pikachu's round actually, and all these things. But I would like just like a straight up, versus, not going through everything. I don't know how it works now though, because I haven't played any of those recent ones.
well, it'd be kind of cool to have like Coliseum or Gale of Darkness be remastered and put back on there, because those actually had pretty good stories besides just the the battle system. Being
I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking about Pokemon Stadium. You guys are talking about the actual one that had actual gameplay instead of just like transferring. Okay,
right. Stadium
I was thinking about Stadium and not the Coliseum ones.
You're not wrong, because I mean they did. I thought they even did one on the. Did they do one on the Wii too?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Or was it on the Wii U? I can't remember.
No, it was the Wii. It was like within the first 8 months of the Wii release. Yeah.
Goes to show you our Pokemon nerdom here.
Yeah.
How first
I
we
remember
are.
those Stadium games just being a dump for your Game Boy cartridges. Really, they didn't really have any single player thing going on there.
Well, each one came with the transfer pack, so let me see. Two other features for the Game Boy was that you can hook up to 2 Switches online to be able to play 2-player games. Cool. And then the same thing for the Game Boy Advance. I didn't list the games on here, but Golden Sun, of course, is one of those on that list. Minish Cap was on that list, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I want to play that one. That's one of the ones I know.
But 4-player Switch, that's gonna be cool. I thought it would. Did they do? Wasn't it Zelda 4 Swords?
I didn't. You talking about for this direct?
Yeah, because I thought that they did something where it looked like it was going to be, but I guess it was something else. So, but that'd be cool, because then you could have 4-player Zelda. Because they did a 4-player. I mean, the Zelda 4 Swords on the GameCube. Of course, the game that most anticipated besides Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was Metroid Prime Remake. Not the trilogy that we were expecting. Of course, nothing for Metroid Prime 4. We probably won't even get any kind of announcement for that until the next Switch version, which has kind of been rumored. The music sounds great. It just took me back to when that game came out. I just the fact that it's going to be digital today and physical on the 22nd was like, I'm going to be buying both of these. Thank you, Nintendo. I said that twice in this episode.
Just like how many times you'll be buying it.
Yeah.
2 times.
2 times.
Call him Vinny 2 times.
And it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this on the other system. No. All right. Any thoughts about Metroid Prime, guys?
No, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, it's great. I want it.
Okay, so
that they actually instituted, because I was curious, right, whenever they were going to be talking about doing the remaster, if they were going to be changing up how it controlled, right? So it was kind of cool that they did implement the ability to play like a traditional, you know, two-stick shooter, and then now, but also being able to switch the controls to where it plays like the old version, right? So it was pretty. I mean, I assumed they were going to do something like that, but it was kind of cool just to, you know, have it confirmed that yeah, they're actually going and putting some love and effort into this thing beyond just yeah, it's the game, but it plays a little bit different, right?
You know, it's kind of similar to how when they did the remake for you know, Resident Evil, you had the traditional tank controls and the new modern controls when they released it for the PS4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. It's definitely one of those ones that's like I wouldn't mind buying it twice anyway because I want to show Nintendo that we want these. My one little purchase of 2 games of the same. We'll see. I don't know. Next up was Master Detective Archive Rain Code.
Yeah,
So
I'll get that one. I got it pre-ordered. The pre-order like the limited edition looks BA.
mhm.
Same people that did Danganronpa. Really, the only really good visual novel because it's like a crime scene. I'm not sure how this one's going to be, but I think it'll be fun. So
Yeah, it does look cool. I might wait and see when it comes out and then pick it up later.
Yeah, I never picked up or tried any of those Danganronpa games. I saw a bunch of gameplay videos of other people playing through them. And I was like, that seems pretty interesting, but just never gotten around to it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get around to this one, but I mean, yeah, the art style looks really cool. It's clearly a, you know, really well put together little product. So maybe this one will be the one that I finally get into. We'll see.
Yeah.
watch it be terrible and you hate it, and you're like, oh, Danganronpa must be like this.
They all must be garbage.
Yeah.
Of course, Batten Kaitos 1 and 2. Yeah, that's pretty cool because I missed out on the GameCube version for that. So
Yeah. Oh, I love those games. I really do, and I really hope there's a physical version, but it's
Can
probably
we-
just gonna be digital.
can we get Skies of Arcadia? You know, I missed out on that one too.
Yeah. Why didn't they do that one? I don't.
Sky and I like those are the 2 main games that I remember my brother playing a whole because my brother was the one who had a GameCube. I had a PlayStation 2. And so I remember walking in there and seeing him playing Baten Kaitos and Skies of Arcadia. And dude, just like the ship combat in Skies of Arcadia, it was just fun. It was this little rock, paper, scissors nonsense that you had to, you know, plan ahead for where your ship's gonna be and all that stuff. It was a cool little game. And just the most we get is little hints of the characters thrown into Valkyria Chronicles games, it feels like. Right. So
Yeah.
one of these days, right after they do a re-release of Breath of Fire 3.
It has the best card combat in any game, I think, Baten Kaitos. And yeah.
You know why I miss these games? I'll be honest with you. There's a real reason. I was playing
Why?
Final Fantasy 11 at the time.
Oh,
There was a
then
literally
that's
there was
good
a
reason.
there was a literally a period, right? I'm working at Best Buy and you know, I'm paying my bills. So I had disposable income and I was like, I got a discount for working there, you know, and it was pretty nice for games and movies. I
Mhm.
literally had a stack of PS2 games that I just purchased and left in the sleeve. And then
Oh.
because I'd play them eventually. And then when I finally stopped playing 11 for a period of time, I catch up on some of the games, go back to 11. My catalog would grow again. It's just like it's hard when you're playing MMO. But hey, it was
Yeah,
worth it. I
man,
met my
11 was
wife.
crazy.
Yeah, I met my wife that way.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been about 10 years since I was late to Baten Kaitos, but I played it like about 10, 11 years ago. And then, I found it for like $12 and I was like, yeah. And then I picked up the second, technically the first one, which was the second one.
Mhm.
And then, so yeah, they're both fantastic and yeah, awesome games. I can't wait. I hope more people hope we get part 3 and then, yeah.
We can only hope, man. We're not getting any younger though.
And then they're gonna. Well, if there's a part 3, then there's gonna be like 20 after, and then I'm gonna get tired of it.
So then we had Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time.
I didn't write that one down.
I mean, we picked up the one on the Game Boy Advance, not Game Boy Advance. It was 3DS. Pretty cool kind of little game. My wife played it; she liked it. So it's probably be something she'll play. I won't. The other thing was Professor Layton and the world of Steam and the new world of Steam. We got the Mario Kart Deluxe 8 DLC stuff announcement with Birdo as a new character coming in spring. So that's pretty cool with all the Yoshi Island levels and stuff.
That's going to be cool. I mean, I haven't played in a long time, but that would be kind of cool.
We play it on occasion. Of course, with the new YouTube Mafia channel thing, that's one of the games we'll be playing on the regular.
I'm no good at Mario Kart, man.
I was gonna say, I'll brush up on my skills if I'm gonna go and try and do anything like that.
Hey, I'm not that great at it anymore. We used to be really good, right, Adrian?
Yeah, man. We used to have those weekly Mario Kart tournaments at work, but I am not that good at it. Man.
Yeah, have an hour lunch. We just go outside and sit there and play some Mario Kart for 2 hours.
Yeah, for 2 and an hour lunch. Play Mario Kart for 2 hours.
Hey, I don't work for that company anymore. Do you?
Man, to hell with them. That was the best part of that company was the Mario Kart tournaments.
Then, of course, we had the montage of all the extra games. Tales of Symphonia was the only one that really stood out to me.
Yeah, Tales was cool. And I saw the Mega Man one. That one was so... I never played those ones. Yeah.
That's a given. I mean, I was looking at like stuff that, I already knew I was going to get Mega Man. That's already in the back burner, but I was looking forward to the Tales of Symphonia because it was really cool getting to actually see a trailer for it.
Yeah. Does it look way better though? Like graphically or
a little bit?
Okay.
I know that the one game that stood out just because I probably need to I don't know if my daughter will ever wind up seeing it, but that one that had the little white deer and that little black dog to it. And it was all like black and white, and it looked like it was a puzzle game with animals, and they were running around the snow. It was called Blanc or something like that. I'd seen that in with a homepage for the Nintendo Switch shop the other day, and I was like, oh, that might be something pretty cool for the kid to give a try out to. So I don't know that much about it, but that was one of the things that was in the montage in there, and it just looks like a neat little puzzle game with couple of cute animals to get some kids involved.
Yeah, but it needs to have like Godzilla show up. If you mess up, the foot just goes. Anyway,
just stomps on the screen. It's over. Oh,
it's
come on!
Game over. With Godzilla's roar in the background.
Take my money, Vince.
Take my money. All right, let's make it. We can get this going. And then of course, finally was Tears of the Kingdom. Looks great. Looks like it's going to have more storyline than the first Breath of the Wild. That game was, to me, I liked it a lot. We played it a lot, but it was very much a just tech demo for a concept for a game. And I feel
I love it.
Tears of the Kingdom is going to be the perfected version.
I love it. I put literally 100 hours into Breath of the Wild. I enjoyed it very much. I understand everyone's criticism of it, but I enjoyed it. It definitely took me back to Ocarina of Time days. I was really in that world. I think I took a week vacation to finish it off. I've been playing it since it came out. I lost my Switch there for a while and got another one, and luckily I forget where I had, maybe I didn't have the cartridge in there at the time, but I took a week off vacation just to finish off the last part of it, and I was enthralled in that world. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
can't wait for it.
I'm just curious about what the hell is going on, right? Like Link having his corrupted arm, like mechanical stuff going on with it. I'm really curious how the gameplay is going to work with you constructing machines.
Yeah,
like that looks crazy, and
I'm
curious to slowly implement that through the game. Like
Yeah.
what kind of creations is it going to be like? Are you going to be locked into? You can only make that little, Quinjet looking thing, right? Or can you actually implement like wheels into your flying machines, and like how customizable was that going to get? Yeah, I'm really curious.
When he's rolling around in the car, all I can think of is like Army of Darkness, when Ash is running around in the freaking his car with the blade on the front.
Man, at a certain point, I was legitimately like, "Holy crap! Does Link lose his arm in this?" And then you have that one shot where you see the hand reaching out, and I assume it's Link's, right? It looks like it's a corrupted hand, and it has the, you know, like ancient technology all over it, right? So I don't know if that's his hand, if that's somebody else, but it's giving me a Princess Mononoke vibes, right? So
That, or like it's Nero's, come on, what was Virgil's sword?
the Yamato, is that what it was?
I think so. But like, how Nero had that arm, it was all blue. And when you look at the amiibo figure of Link, it's like that hand that's all messed up is blue. I know it's supposed to represent the whole thing of him grabbing things with the basically it's hit the tablet now as a gauntlet or something.
Are you guys getting the special edition?
If it doesn't sell out.
Yeah, it's probably already sold out. No,
it's gone, man. They don't have any more.
Did you already look, Adrian?
I don't need to look.
Yeah, you need to look.
And I've got too many other vices that I got to spend money on. All that special edition stuff is for you collectors. I just need the game. That's it.
I just want the amiibo. I'll be all fine with that.
If it was just on the shelf somewhere, I would probably get it going in to buy the game. So it's here. I'll just get that instead. But hunting it down and all that stuff, nah, I won't.
Well, just think about like when the Switch came out, you could have walked into Target on launch day to get the special edition. That ain't gonna happen this time.
Nah,
No.
that's not gonna happen.
No,
Yeah, Vince and I were there. What did we do? We went to the Wolverine opened that night.
Yeah, Logan.
Logan.
Yeah,
Logan opened that night, and we just walked over from Logan to the Best Buy. I was like, oh, let's see if we can get a Nintendo Switch tonight. And just stood in line, and they were all there, And those were good old days. You just went in and, picked up what you needed and walked out. There weren't a bunch of people in there trying to resell it.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything that's kind of good about when Prime came out, you could still find a collector's edition for that. When Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out, you could still find the collectors for that. So there may be a chance that they may produce a little bit more to meet the demand.
Yeah.
Or at
And
least
you still could get the Shin Megami Tensei 5 special edition, surprisingly. They overproduced that one.
Mhm.
But the Xenoblade 3, they really underproduced it. And you can't even find copies. Well, it's harder to find the copies for just the game now for some reason. I don't know. Because I was gonna pick it up. That's another reason why I didn't play it yet. But
because Fire Emblem Engage, you can still get that at collector's edition, as far as I know. Last time I checked, it was still available.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
but yeah, no, I mean, overall, I would say this was pretty good. It hit most of the marks for at least everybody. It wasn't like a bunch of duds with the announcements of one title that everybody's anticipating.
Yeah.
But
the first 3 games threw me off. I was like, man, is this going to be one of those ones where it's all shovelware?
Yeah.
I mean,
here's all your shovelware, and at the very end, oh, real quick, here's Zelda, just so you can say that this wasn't a complete waste.
Yeah.
So, how do you guys feel about the fact that Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have backed out of attending E3 this year?
I mean, it's kind of been on the horizon, right? I mean, it's every year. It feels like everyone's like, yeah, Sony's not going to be there, Microsoft's not going to be there. It feels like it's been coming, and so we're here, right?
When's the last time you guys watched E3? I think the last time I actually time to watch was like 2017, 2018 anyway. So
Me and
It's
Adrian
been-
we're always watching it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I hate to keep bringing up the Vincent Adrian stories, but that's I think the last time I seriously watched that E3 was when you and I were at work, and that
Mhm.
had to be like E3 2015. It was the E3 where Xbox was doing really badly, but they announced the backwards compatibility thing, and that just blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, that might be a game changer. I just remember watching that in the break room at work when they announced that. That was probably the last one where it was still like really big, and that had to be like maybe E3 2016, maybe 17,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
But we
I
usually
forget
always
exactly which one.
we always usually catch it though. We talk about it. So
Yeah. But I was just thinking about the last time it was actually a big deal when you
oh
had the
yeah.
press conferences and the big three were there. Nintendo hasn't been there for a while, but at least Sony and Microsoft are still doing the press conferences, and that was probably the last one that sticks
Yeah.
in mind as being something like, oh, we sat down, we watched the press conference, and they were just dropping bombshells. That was probably the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
I
that was
think
the one we
yeah.
had Final Fantasy 7 announced.
Oh, the
Was that at
HD?
E3? Was that at E3? You talking about
Because
the remake?
you're like, this is never going to come out anytime soon. This is BS.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. But that was probably like in E3 like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we got a long way to go. That was probably like 2016 or 17
Mhm.
that when they originally announced it, and I was like, man, we're not going to see this thing for a long time. And sure enough, we didn't see that game until like 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like 4 maybe 5 years after when that thing finally came out. But I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, man, they're announcing this and I'm hyped for it, but it'll be the better part of a decade before we see this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think 2014 I actually called into work a couple days just to watch E3.
Yeah.
I
There's a
miss
lot.
it. That was exciting. I miss it.
I do too.
Me
I mean,
too.
the only thing we got now is like what Evo. This year.
Yeah.
If we can, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go or not. It all depends. But I mean,
Yeah.
at least we'll watch it, and we'll probably actually watch it live like we did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stream it, talk and chat while it's going on. That was fun.
Heck yeah.
But supposedly we're supposed to have another state of play, which is supposed to be a bigger one, and then the same thing with Microsoft is supposed to have another big presentation. This will probably be one of the presentations that, if the rumors are true, we'll get the details or at least a trailer for the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1. So we'll see how that goes, because it's been on the hype train or rumor mill for a while. But this year we're supposed to get Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, so we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited
Yeah.
for that one too.
I
I need a
love
date
it.
for that.
I just wish the fights won't be as scripted, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, but no, I love the game. I can't wait till part 2 comes out. So
I've done a full. I don't know if it should be 180 or 360 because I finished that game. I was like, man, I don't know if I like the ending, or like I think Vince and I had a conversation about. I don't know if I wanted them to not remake it, but remake it because it's actually like kind of a sequel and not a remake type of thing. And I was like, I don't know. And now I've come back around on that to be like, all right, this could be pretty good. So I'm optimistic about the next one again.
I think it's a theory, and we've all played the original, right? Okay,
Yes.
so it's not really spoil. So I think it's like a time traveling thing, right?
Yes.
You guys think
yes.
that? Yeah. So
Yes,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Not me.
And not just remade.
You don't think?
It's Cloud. Think about it. It's Cloud in the live stream. Of course, whose souls are in the live stream right now? Zach and Eris. Makes sense why she knows what's going on, but she can't sit there and tell him because it's in his head.
Okay.
Same thing. Sephiroth is there and he's manipulating and changing everything. So it makes sense that the whole thing that's going on
Mm-hmm.
is inside Cloud's head in the live stream.
Well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to see what it ends up being.
I am
Yeah.
too. I'm okay to be let down with what the possibilities are, but it would make sense that there's a parallel universe where Zach's trying to kind of follow in the footsteps because he wasn't there, or something. So now he's trying to get to them, and it's another reality. But it's
So you think they killed off not Big? So what's the other guy's name? Wedge, yeah.
Wedge.
Because it showed Biggs is still alive now. Still.
Well, technically, all three of them are still alive, even though originally they all three of them died.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of crazy that you fight Sephiroth at the end of the first game, right? So it's like in my mind, I'm like, okay, so are we fighting this? Are we fighting Sephiroth? We've already beat him. So are we fighting him again at the end of the next game? Or
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of interesting that they went that far with the first, like you said, right? The ending I felt kind of weird about. And I still feel kind of weird about. I'm curious to see where they go with it, how it progresses. The one thing that if they're gonna do I constantly have to split up my party over and over again, like the first, which they shouldn't, right? We shouldn't be having to deal with split party shenanigans like we did in the first one. But if there's any points where they do that, please, for the love of God, let me walk faster, please. Like the part where it's like I need to go and I missed something in like the Eris section, right? Where it's like you're following her around, and I'm just like, come on, move, run, let's get. I've already heard all this dialogue. I don't care. Yes, you love the children, and the children love you, and it's great. Blah blah. Whatever. Let's go. Time's let's move. I miss the PC port, right, where I could hit that little button and fast forward.
Yeah.
It's like I need that. It's like, look, guys, look, I beat your game. Now just give me a fast forward button or a skip button or something. I need it, please, for the love of God.
As long as they allow us to be able to take our saves through to the next game, I'll be happy. I don't want to have to.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll
level
Mass
up my
Effect it.
materials again. I don't want to have.
Oh, you you will. You will start from zero with Cure and go up to Curiza. Just do the whole thing, man.
I hate that too. I want them to like change that back to Bolt 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but wasn't I didn't know, wasn't that the change, right? The 1, 2, and 3 was the change, and originally it was the Ragas and all those things. Is that right or no?
No, well, all the games have usually ever been like, unless it was the Japanese version and when it's translated here, they just did whatever with the Bolt 1, 2, and 3, Ice 1, 2, and 3, and all that stuff.
Because I know they started doing that going forward, but I for whatever reason I assumed that the anomaly was Final Fantasy VII with 1, 2, and 3, and that all the other games always had Ragas,
no, because
Rise and all that stuff.
4, 6, even Tactics, 8. No, 8 started the trend of the Ragas. But
I'm with you. I don't like the Ragas. I always confuse them.
It's like Curaga, and it's like, oh, okay, why? But all right, so yeah. Any last thing to add to this before we close out? What's your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct?
I thought it was good. I thought overall that I came away with some purchasing decisions, and that's what those things are supposed to be for. You're supposed to come away with people wanting to buy something from you, and they succeeded with that. So I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like we talked about, right? There was some stuff that they talked about in here that I had no clue about, and so getting to see it in action and all that, it was kind of a ringing of the bell in the back of my head of, oh, hey man, I had no idea this thing even existed. I need to go put a pin in this and come back to it later when I'm not looking at having to try and figure out where I'm gonna get the money to buy like 5 games in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Let me see. It's like Yakuza, Kirby, Octopath Traveler.
I mean, again, it's not even the stuff that.
I'll tell you what, the new Yakuza,
this.
I'll be able
They're
to
gonna back up
100% complete. No karaoke.
No karaoke.
Oh, come on, man. Dude, the one thing that gets me in Yakuza every time, it start when I played Yakuza 0. That was the first one I ever played,
Mhm.
and I don't understand why the stupid Hostess Club minigame. It takes some weird box in my brain, and it was
Mhm.
like, no, because it was just like going through and picking, and I need to get this guy. Man, this dude's an asshole, but I found the right chick that'll make him happy, and then and for whatever reason, that minigame just locked me in, and I've played the crap out of it. And now I'm trying to beat Yakuza 2, and that
Oh.
stupid Hostess minigame's in there again. And I've got more money than God because you make so much money. And that's the other thing. You make so much money doing that stupid minigame because it costs almost nothing. And you
Mhm.
just reap so much money in. It's insane. And so I'm just sitting there just cranking it out. Just, hey guys, I could probably buy the entire city at this point, but no, it's fine. I'm gonna go beat up dudes. It's good.
Well, wait till you get to the whole Ichiban Confections. That's the one of the best.
Yeah. And you need to do it. It's not really a spoiler, but you should do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's like one of those things. You'll get lots of money and some extra items and things. But I don't remember there being a mini game thing in. I know there was the fishing and stuff in 6, but I don't remember there was a big thing for.
Nah, 6 they shorted it out for some reason. They cut a lot out for some reason.
Mhm.
I think it was because they were working on 7 at the same time and Judgment. So
Yeah.
yeah, and they wanted people just to focus on the story because that should have been the end of or Kiryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but they brought him back.
He's gonna be-
oh no, I don't know if they brought him back.
He's gonna be an 8.
Yeah, heck yeah. But the
Ichiban,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad, I like Ichiban, so and I can't wait till 8 come or like a Dragon 8 or whatever they're gonna call it now. So
Yeah, I want that RPG feel, man. It's so good. It just feels so right for the Yakuza series.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Man, so we definitely need to. So we'll just something here. We need to have if we can do this, we can have a gaming podcast at some point with us us 4, just talking about gaming and just like sharing our love and
Definitely.
Yeah.
And once again,
you have to charge
Ichiban,
people to share our
Tekken 8
love, man. You can't just give that away for free.
Negan.
Yeah, we got to talk about
Ichiban.
this whole. Yeah, that's true. They need to replace Negan with Ichiban and Tekken 8, and yeah, and we need to talk about the Nina Williams appearance at some point.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
but all right, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode of us just talking about the Nintendo Direct plus extra stuff, because that's how it goes here in the That Little Podcast. We just kind of go off the rails. But until then, everyone. What?
We kept at least one tire on the rail the whole time.
That's true. Yeah.
We didn't go too far afield.
We pulled the Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins, where he's two-wheeling the car into the parking spot.
Sorry,
Everyone.
I jumped in on your extra.
No, it's okay. It's all right. That's all right. All right, everyone. Have a great one. Peace.